Listen up, because what I'm about to share could protect your financial future and save you from falling into dangerous traps that are spreading everywhere right now. Thousands of people receiving Social Security are being confused, misled, and sometimes even scammed because of wild claims circulating about huge payments and massive increases. You need the real facts today, not tomorrow. Because every day you wait is another day someone might take advantage of you, or you might miss understanding what you're truly entitled to receive. I need you to do something for yourself right now. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because this is how you stay protected. While everyone else is chasing rumors and clicking on misleading headlines, you'll get clear, honest updates delivered straight to you before confusion spreads. This channel exists for one reason: to give you truthful information that helps you make smart decisions about your money and your benefits. When I upload the next update about Social Security changes or new payment rules, you'll be among the first to know, and that gives you real power. Let me start by giving you some peace of mind. You're not going crazy if you're confused right now. The confusion is intentional in many cases. People create sensational headlines because they know you're worried about money and they know you want good news. But here's what nobody else is telling you. Understanding the truth, even when it's less exciting than the headlines, actually gives you more control over your life than chasing false hopes. I'm here to walk you through exactly what's happening with Social Security in 2026, where these big dollar amounts actually come from, and most importantly, what you can actually expect to see in your bank account. Here's the foundation you need to understand first. Every year, the Social Security Administration looks at inflation and adjusts benefits so your money doesn't lose value over time. This adjustment is called the cost of living adjustment, and it happens automatically without you needing to apply or fill out any paperwork. For 2026, the adjustment is 2.8%. That means your monthly benefit will increase by that percentage starting in January. This affects almost 71 million people receiving retirement or disability benefits, plus another 7.5 million people receiving supplemental security income who will see their increase starting on December 31st of this year. Now let's talk about where that $1,200 number comes from, because this is where the confusion starts. When you see headlines screaming about a $1,200 increase, they're not talking about one check or one deposit. They're talking about the total you would receive over an entire year if you add up all 12 months of your increased amount. Here's a real example that makes this crystal clear. Imagine you're currently receiving $3,500 every month. A 2.8% increase means you get an extra $98 each month. If you take that $98 and multiply it by 12 months, you get $1,176, which some people round up and call $1,200. But you never see that money all at once. It comes to you spread out over the whole year as a slightly bigger monthly payment. The reality for most people is very different from those big numbers. The average Social Security retirement benefit right now is around $2,000 per month. If you're receiving that average amount, your 2.8% increase gives you about $56 more each month. Over 12 months, that's roughly $672 for the entire year. That's helpful money, especially when everything from groceries to utilities keeps getting more expensive. But it's nowhere close to the dramatic figures you see in clickbait headlines. You need to know your real numbers so you can plan your budget accurately and not feel disappointed when reality doesn't match the hype. What about that $2,000 payment everyone keeps talking about? Here's where things get even more complicated and where many people are being seriously misled. There have been proposals, ideas suggested by various lawmakers to provide additional support to people receiving Social Security. Some of these proposals mention increasing benefits by $200 per month, which over 10 months equals $2,000. One example is a proposal that's been discussed to boost monthly benefits to help seniors whose costs have risen faster than their adjustments. But here's the critical truth you must understand. A proposal is just an idea, it's not real law, and it doesn't put money in your account. For a proposal to become real, Congress has to pass it, and the president has to sign it. That hasn't happened with these larger payment ideas. Let me explain why some people might have received large payments recently, because this is probably fueling some of the confusion. There was a law that passed called the Social Security Fairness Act. This law eliminated two old rules that had been reducing benefits for certain people, mostly teachers, firefighters, police officers, and other public employees who also receive pensions from jobs where they didn't pay Social Security taxes. When those old rules were removed, the people who had been affected suddenly qualified for higher benefits. Some of them received large lump sum payments to make up for the months since the law took effect. For some individuals, this meant getting over $1,000 more every month going forward, plus a retroactive payment that covered the time since January 2024. These payments totaled billions of dollars, but they only went to people who were specifically affected by those two old rules. If you weren't affected by those rules, you didn't get those payments. Here's what I want you to do right now to figure out your actual increase. Take out your most recent Social Security statement or look at your last deposit amount. Let's say you're receiving $1,800 each month. Multiply that by 0.028, which is the 2.8% expressed as a decimal. So 1,800 times 0.028 equals 5040. That's your monthly increase. Your new monthly benefit starting in January 2026 will be $1,850.40. When you multiply that 50/40 increase by 12 months, you get $604.80 as your total increase for the entire year. That's your real number, and knowing it helps you plan realistically instead of hoping for something that isn't coming. Now let me share something that frustrates people every single year, and you need to know about it so you're not blindsided. If you're enrolled in Medicare Part B, which most Social Security recipients are, your premium gets automatically taken out of your Social Security payment. Medicare premiums go up almost every year. When your Social Security gets a cost of living adjustment, a chunk of that increase immediately goes to cover the higher Medicare premium. Let's say your monthly benefit increases by $50, but your Medicare premium goes up by $10. Your actual take-home increase is only $40. This is why so many people feel like their cost of living adjustment doesn't really help much, because their expenses are rising faster than their benefits, and the Medicare premium increase eats into whatever increase they get. There is one protection built into the system that you should know about. It's called the hold harmless provision, and it prevents your actual Social Security deposit from going down because of Medicare premium increases. Here's how it works. If you were receiving $2,000 in Social Security with $175 deducted for Medicare, leaving you with $1,125 hitting your account, the hold harmless rule makes sure that even if Medicare premiums go up more than your cost of living adjustment, you'll still get at least that $1,125. You won't go backwards, but you might not go forward much either. This protection doesn't apply to everyone, but it does cover most people who have been receiving benefits for a while and pay their Medicare premium through Social Security deduction. Are you starting to see why the truth matters more than the hype? Understanding your real numbers and how everything works together helps you make better decisions and protects you from disappointment and from people trying to trick you. Stay with me because I'm about to show you the common mistakes people make and how to avoid every single one of them. Let me walk you through the 5 biggest mistakes people make when they hear about Social Security increases, because avoiding these mistakes will save you stress and possibly even save you from losing money. First mistake is believing every headline without checking the source. If you see a claim about a huge payment or massive increase, go directly to the Social Security Administration's official website or check your personal My Social Security account online. Don't trust random websites or social media posts that don't cite official sources. Second mistake is thinking you need to apply or do something to get your cost of living adjustment. You don't. The adjustment happens automatically. If someone contacts you saying you need to fill out forms or pay a fee to get your increase, that's a scam. Third mistake is forgetting to account for Medicare premium increases when calculating your real take-home benefit. Always subtract the Medicare premium change from your benefit increase to see what you're actually getting. Fourth mistake is sharing personal information with people who call or email claiming to be from Social Security. The Social Security Administration will never call you out of the blue asking for your Social Security number or threatening you if you don't pay something immediately. Fifth mistake is not setting up your My Social Security account online. This free account lets you see your exact benefit amounts, check your earnings history, and get official notices. If you haven't created one yet, do it today because it's your direct line to accurate information about your own benefits. Let me tell you about a myth that keeps circulating and needs to be corrected right now. The myth is that everyone receiving Social Security will get a separate bonus payment or stimulus check on top of their regular benefits. The truth is that no such universal bonus payment has been approved. The only increases happening automatically are the cost of living adjustments that are calculated as a percentage of your current benefit. Some people did receive large retroactive payments under the Social Security Fairness Act, but that was specific to people affected by those two old rules I mentioned earlier. If you see posts claiming everyone will get a $2,000 check or a surprise bonus, that's either referring to proposals that haven't passed or it's completely made up to get clicks. Always verify through official channels before believing these claims or getting your hopes up. Now let's talk about the different situations people find themselves in and see if you recognize yourself in any of these. If you're someone who relies entirely on Social Security for your income and you're barely making ends meet right now, the 2.8% increase will help. But you're probably going to notice that groceries and utilities are still climbing faster than your benefit. You might need to look into additional assistance programs like SNAP food benefits or energy assistance that you might qualify for. If you're someone who receives a pension in addition to Social Security, and you were affected by the windfall elimination provision or government pension offset, you should have already received notice about your benefit change and any retroactive payment you qualified for. Make sure to check your account and contact Social Security if you think you should have been affected but haven't heard anything. If you're someone who just started receiving benefits in the last year or two, you might not have much history to compare against, and these percentage increases might seem small. That's because percentage increases feel bigger when your benefit amount is higher and you've been receiving benefits longer. Let me give you a clear action plan you can follow today. First, create or log into your My Social Security account if you haven't already. This is where you'll find your official benefit information and any notices about increases. Second, write down your current monthly benefit amount and calculate your expected increase by multiplying it by 0.028. Third, check what your Medicare Part B premium is and will be, so you know how much of your increase will actually reach your bank account. Fourth, review your budget and adjust it based on your real increase, not based on rumors or exaggerated headlines. Fifth, if you think you might have been affected by the Social Security Fairness Act but haven't received any notice, contact Social Security directly to ask about your situation. Sixth, be on high alert for scams. If anyone contacts you claiming you need to do something to get your benefits or increase, verify independently by calling Social Security at their official number, not a number the caller gives you. Seventh, share accurate information with friends and family who might also be confused. Helping others avoid misinformation is a gift you can give them. I want to explain why these cost of living adjustments exist in the first place, because understanding the purpose helps you see the bigger picture. Social Security was created to provide income security for people in retirement or when they can't work due to disability. But money loses value over time because of inflation. A dollar today doesn't buy what a dollar bought 10 years ago or even 2 years ago. Without adjustments, Social Security benefits would buy less and less every year, and people would struggle more and more. The adjustment is calculated by looking at inflation over a specific time period and applying that percentage to benefits. Some years the adjustment is high when inflation is high, and some years it's low or even zero when inflation is low. In recent years, we've seen higher adjustments because inflation surged after the pandemic. The 2026 adjustment of 2.8% reflects where inflation has been recently. Looking back at history gives you perspective. Cost of living adjustments started in 1975. Some years they were massive. In 1980 and 1981, during a period of very high inflation, adjustments were over 11%. In other years like 2010, 2011, and 2016, there was zero adjustment because inflation was essentially flat. In 2023, the adjustment was 8.7%, one of the largest in decades, reflecting the sharp rise in prices we all experienced. The 2024 adjustment was 3.2%, 2025 was 2.5%, and now 2026 is 2.8%. These numbers tell the story of economic conditions and how they directly affect your benefits. When prices go up faster, your adjustment should be bigger. When prices are stable, your adjustment is smaller or non-existent. Many advocates and organizations argue that the way cost of living adjustments are calculated doesn't fully reflect what seniors actually spend money on. The formula uses a measure of inflation that tracks spending patterns of urban workers, but seniors typically spend more on healthcare and housing and less on things like transportation or technology. There have been proposals to change the formula to use a measure that better matches senior spending, which would generally result in higher adjustments. But these proposals haven't been passed into law yet. The debate continues about how to keep Social Security sustainable, while also making sure benefits keep up with real costs. It's a complicated challenge with no easy answers, but it's important for you to know that people are fighting for improvements. So let's come back to the original question. Can Social Security recipients receive both a $100 boost and a $2,000 payment? The answer is no, not in the way those headlines make it sound. The $1,200 figure is just the annual total of your monthly cost of living adjustment if you're receiving a higher benefit amount. It's not a separate boost or bonus. The $2,000 payment is either referring to proposals that aren't law yet, or it's referring to the retroactive lump sum payments that some specific people received under the Social Security Fairness Act. These aren't two separate benefits you can stack on top of each other. They're different things that got mixed up and exaggerated in misleading headlines. What you will actually get is your regular monthly benefit increased by 2.8% starting in January 2026, and that increase continues every month going forward. That's the real guaranteed benefit change. Here's what you need to watch out for when it comes to scams, because criminals know people are looking for information about Social Security increases, and they take advantage of that. Never give your Social Security number or bank information to anyone who contacts you claiming to be from Social Security. The real Social Security Administration will never call you demanding immediate payment or threatening to suspend your benefits. They will never ask you to pay with gift cards, wire transfers, or cryptocurrency. If someone calls you and it seems suspicious, hang up and call Social Security directly using the official number you can find on their website. Don't trust caller ID because scammers can fake it to make it look like the call is coming from Social Security when it's not. If you get an email or text message claiming to be from Social Security with a link to click, don't click it. Instead, go directly to the official website by typing it into your browser yourself. Scammers create fake websites that look real to steal your information. Let me give you two more real examples to make sure you fully understand how the numbers actually work. Example 1. Imagine someone receiving $1,500 per month in Social Security. Their 2.8% increase is $42 per month. Over 12 months, that's $504 for the year. If their Medicare premium increases by $8 per month, their real take-home increase is $34 per month, or $408 for the year. Example 2. Imagine someone receiving $2,800 per month. Their 2.8% increase is $78.40 per month. Over 12 months, that's $940.80 for the year, which could be rounded to about $941. If their Medicare premium increases by $11 per month, their real take-home increase is $67.40 per month, or $808.80 for the year. Notice how the higher your benefit, the bigger your dollar increase, but it's still just a percentage of what you already receive. Nobody is getting a flat $1,200 or $2,000 on top of everything else unless they were part of that specific group affected by the Fairness Act. The bottom line that you need to remember is this. Your Social Security benefit is increasing by 2.8% in January 2026. For most people, that means an extra $50 to $80 per month, depending on what you're currently receiving. This increase happens automatically. You don't need to do anything to get it. Any claims about huge bonus payments or separate checks are either proposals that aren't law yet, or they're exaggerations and misunderstandings of how the cost of living adjustment works. Your best protection is to get your information from official sources, calculate your own numbers, and ignore sensational headlines that don't give you clear, verifiable facts. You have the power to stay informed and stay protected, and that's exactly what I want you to do. Let me recap everything so it's completely clear. The 2026 cost of living adjustment is 2.8%, and it applies to almost everyone receiving Social Security. Your monthly benefit will go up by that percentage starting in January. The $1,200 figure you see in headlines is the annual total of monthly increases for people receiving higher benefits, not a separate payment. The $2,000 payment claims are either about proposals that haven't passed or about specific retroactive payments that only went to people affected by the Social Security Fairness Act. Medicare premium increases will reduce your take-home benefit increase, so always factor that in. You can calculate your exact increase by multiplying your current monthly benefit by 0.028. Your My Social Security account is the best place to get accurate information about your benefits. Be extremely careful about scams and never give out personal information to anyone who contacts you unexpectedly. The truth is less exciting than the headlines, but it's what you need to know to plan your finances and protect yourself. Here's my final message to you. Misinformation about Social Security doesn't just cause confusion. It can cause real harm if it leads you to make bad decisions or fall for scams. But you now have the truth, and that gives you control. You know what to expect, how to verify information, and how to protect yourself. You're not at the mercy of clickbait or con artists anymore. You have the knowledge you need to move forward confidently. Don't let anyone take that power away from you by feeding you false hope or fear. You're informed now, and that's the strongest position you can be in. Are you ready to take control of your financial future with facts instead of falling for fiction?